up, y'all? Shabbat shalom. Eee. It is Friday night when I am recording this. I did not work this evening because I'm on my new schedule now where I don't have to work on Friday nights. And this Friday night I had plans. I went out and went partying. It's been a big party week. I am I love partying hard, cannot do that very often. So I am pretty much a hermit, and so I might party like a good work-life balance week for me is like one good party night and then maybe a chill hang night with like some party elements involved, but like lightly. This week was my birthday, and then it's also my sister-in-law's birthday, and there's a bunch of people at work that have Aries birthdays. So yeah, we've been partying a lot, so I'm a little buzzed. But I'm trying to keep it together and stay disciplined, so better buzzed than not at all, I say. So we're here to talk about our extended reading for the weekend. I pulled these cards this morning and I wrote our blog about it. So you can go read it there on Instagram at Liz_Taylor_Magick. Otherwise, I will cut and paste the text into our description box below. But I really like our reading for the weekend, and I feel like it ties into our new moon solar eclipse reading. And hold on to your horses, folks, our Thirsty Thursday romance reading. I'm seeing like connected themes here. So with no further ado, let's get into the cards. We got Gratitude from Vintage Wisdom Oracle, followed by Truth, followed by Enchantment. Just had a little belch. I hit it. It was secret. It's Brussels sprouts. Okay. And then underneath Gratitude, we had Queen of Wands. You guys know I love food. It's like my favorite. I'm a Cancer moon. Who's a Cancer out there? Answer in the comments. Truth was anchored by Ace of Cups. Eee. And hold on to your seats, you guys. Enchantment was anchored by King of Wands. We've got a match, Queen and King. And then the bottom of the deck presented to me like by accident, and it was Four of Wands. Four of Wands. Oh my God. Okay, so let's talk about what this is all meaning. Okay. So we've got Gratitude, Truth, and Enchantment. And I'm feeling that the overall tone here is that spring vibes are coming in. We're feeling alive. We're feeling good. The fucking solar eclipse. Oh my God, you guys. With the Aries new moon. What a mixed bag. So there's 50%. Like I witnessed so much on that night, on Wednesday. It was insane. You may be pulling the pieces together from your life seemingly falling apart, or you may have had a series of events that seem to be falling into place for you. Solar eclipses are very catalytic. They're like the plot points in the year. We've been looking at our life in terms of like the year recently in our readings in context of like the season of like a series television show, Life, the series. And so in the beginning, like if you look at a screenplay, right after the opening sequence that introduces the character, the lay of the land, the supporting characters, what this person's life is like, there's then what's called plot point 1, which is the inciting incident that turns the character's current life and conditions upside down to send them on a journey of self-discovery that will lead them to not only their own personal evolution, but like the boon of the story, the blessing, the goal. So we're in that moment. We've just had this eclipse happen, and we've had all of this catalytic energy. And so you may have either had big events happen to you or witnessed them happening. And so regardless of whether you are interpreting those initially as jolting in a good way or a bad way, I believe firmly that everything is happening for the positive, to lead you to your greatest unfolding of your highest self, your greatest potential, and your deepest fulfillment. I have hiccups. I've been eating and drinking. So it would behoove us right now to ruminate in a sense of gratitude for what is unfolding and put our focus there. Human tendency, when things are going well and when things start to fold in a good way, we're like, oh God, what's around the corner? Is there going to be like a rug ripped out from under me? Like, is there some like impending doom? Like, what's the catch? We need to avoid going into that fatalistic thinking and stay ruminating in gratitude and stay focused on the things that we're grateful for about this moment, and stay focused on the things that we like that are playing out, so that those will continue to play out, that will be magnified. So let's go into more detail. Gratitude was anchored by Queen of Wands. So the thing is, from an overview, the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands are both present in this reading. So from a spiritual perspective, and like the Ace of Cups was between them. So from a spiritual perspective, I believe that the feminine aspects of the wand suit and the masculine aspects of the wand suit are coming into balance and healing within us. And because of that, we're able to embody and express those in our outer world and in our actions. And therefore, our outer world is starting to reflect the benefit of those gifts. So the wand suit is all about spirituality, our identity of self, willpower, passion, persistence, determination, like being a self-starter. Mars is all about like taking action and taking initiative. It's very like sexually charged. It's kind of the raw masculine energy, essentially. And it's the youngest sign of the tarot, so it's like the baby of the zodiac. And so we've got the masculine and the feminine versions here. And so what I believe this is saying, as far as like a metaphysical way, like just talking about us, not talking about our outer world and like the tea that's going to get spilled, we are integrating our ability to follow our passion, follow our intuition, and be inspired, but also be inspired and be consistent and devoted and disciplined. We have the ambition and the motivation and the decisiveness to like take charge and be assertive and be self-starters. And so that is good. And our passion, like we've learned to taper and temper our impulsivity, that is like an Aries quality, but like use it in such a way where like we're not impulsive in a way that it's self-destructive anymore, but we've still kept the positive aspects of that allow us to be spontaneous instead of always so predictable, or tendency to get stuck in like a rut or whatever. So that's good. We've balanced that out. And the King of Wands, the Knight of Wands, like the Wands characters, even the Queen of Wands, they're all very charismatic and very like social and very sexy and very magnetic and very magnanimous. And they have a lot of like charisma and je ne sais quoi, but they can be a little bit like shiny object syndrome and following their passions and like getting distracted with every little shiny object. So when we have both the masculine and the feminine showing up together in the same reading for the self, it's about like mastering those areas. I mean, we're at the queen level and the king level of both of these. So it's like we've come to a certain level of self-mastery here, which kind of is like primes us in a state to meet someone who's at that equal level. We have Ace of Cups in the middle of these. So just by ourselves, having these two areas of our lives, like the masculine and the feminine areas of the Wands suit brought into balance, that's giving us this emotional rebirth and renewal. Like we have this emotional passion that's coming back. And it's not the kind of passion that we just like spend and like we kind of exercise that passion and we follow our impulses and we just do what feels good. And then it's all spent out and gone. But we're learning how to harness that passion and control it a bit and use it intentionally so that it is a sustainable passion that can be stoked like a slow burn and last, rather than burn hot and fast and out. So that is really, really good. And then underneath it all, we've got Four of Wands, which talks about being in a very peaceful state of harmony and bliss, of fulfillment, of things like working out and being like a very like positive, feel-good situation. So this is like the marriage card, the graduation. It's like the next step in solidifying something that brings about stability, harmony, security, and balance. So that's all very good. So on a personal level, we're bringing these things into balance. So the Truth card was above the feminine, the Queen of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. And so on a personal level, it's like your truth and the way that you see things and your perspective is coming into balance so that your mentality is creating a landscape that you can have passion but also control within. From an outer perspective, like from the fun spill the tea drama perspective, I can't help but see that like there's this giddiness feeling of gratitude for the way that life is kind of like developing and unfolding at the moment. There is a possibility of emotional renewal and a new bond and a new romance. And it might be between two very equally yolked individuals that have a potential for a long-term fulfilling relationship or bond. And they might even be very eye to eye in their consciousness, but their truth might be where they come at odds. And so this truth is something to do with how they see the world, because they're it's all very enchanting right now. So I think that this is the card of enchantment that's like, this is a good enchantment. There's no warning signs that are like, be careful of illusion. And we've had that before. And we've had that with enchantment before. So we know how to spot that. But this is accompanied by Four of Wands and Ace of Cups and gratitude. And what are these other cards? What are these other cards? Truth, enchantment, Ten of Wands, King of Wands, or Queen and King of Wands. So I feel like this enchantment is legit. This is like being charmed, having like kind of like amorous feelings coming over you. It's like that beginning of like falling into crush, falling into love, like really liking someone and wondering like if it could really go somewhere. And the thing is that where everything might be really lining up, there may be some worry about the truth. And if we're going to see eye to eye. And I think that if you can get past, there may be like something that feels like it might give you pause for concern. I would say just give it a chance for now, because overall what I saw when I saw this card was that from a consciousness perspective, you see eye to eye. And this card also talks about truth having the power to heal or kill. So I think these two have enough common truth to heal. And it's up to them to whether they want their little small, minute differences to come between the union. Because I think overall there's something really positive here, and there could be potential for long-term fulfillment. It's just going to be about accepting one another's truth and being able to hold space for both of those in the situation for the sake of something that could be very passionate and equally matched, and something that could give a brand new cycle of love and emotion and relationship patterns and fulfillment, and deep and lasting harmony and ease and happiness and peace. So it's worth giving a shot. We've had a lot of cards come up recently in the Lunation workshops from the Straightforward Oracle, which is my own custom deck that I'm working on, that have been about oh, I lost my train of thought. It just had to do with this, and it was it was in the workshop. Maybe you should just go watch the full moon workshop. But overall, sorry, I'm tired and I'm a little buzzed. But overall, the workshop, led me to believe that things were really unfolding in a positive way, in a very charmed way, and there were fun things to look forward to. But it's all about lending the self to a positive expectation and mindset, and just choosing to focus on the results that you want rather than letting those worries creep in about little neurotic details. And then, even though in this case, it might not seem like little neurotic details. I mean, this is about truth. It's about the person's truth. But I feel like there's something that may be slightly mismatched there could be something like you could arrive at an agreement or change your viewpoint about something. So don't let that scare you off from taking a risk. Oh, that was what it was. A bunch of times recently we've had worth the risk come up in our readings. Worth the risk, worth the risk, worth the risk. So I've been like, okay, what's coming up that's like has you questioning if it's worth the risk? The things that come up in our readings aren't always obvious to us at the time. Sometimes this happens later. Many times what comes up in the readings like a couple of weeks ago plays out later, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. That makes sense now. So think about it, worth the risk. Think about your truth. Also, the bad advice card came up in our new moon workshop, and that can mean many times that what is traditionally suggested may not fit you in the situation, or maybe there's advice being given to you that seems like it would be good, but in this situation it's just like it's different, and it's a unique set of circumstances that you have to like qualify on its own, or it may just be against like traditional thinking. So it's up to you to discern that. I would also go back and watch that full, or the new moon workshop that we just had. And then there's a lot of good like stuff in the readings around it too. Like Friday's reading for the weekend is much bigger than just the weekend reading. Or I'm sorry, this is Friday. Weekend, midweek reading. Midweek reading, Thursday was really good. The full moon reading and tonight's reading that you're already watching. But they all kind of tie in together. Like this whole week has been like a just culminating this huge story. So yeah, those are all really good to like pair together. They'll all build on each other. All right, I need some water. I need to chill, and I need to go to bed. Love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow for our, what's tomorrow? Ooh, okay, so tomorrow's my Monday. I'm working, it'll be Saturday night. It'll be insane. And then tomorrow night, we will have our Secret Teachings of Jesus. It'll be our Saturday night secret sermon. So tune in. All right, bye.